So, you're an aspiring entrepreneur and you've been doing some research doing a little thing online, but you haven't been able to find a bulletproof method that would allow you to quit your job and live remotely whilst making a full-time income. Quite frankly, to tell you the truth, over 90% of you watching this video will fail to take action on the things that I will be sharing with you in this video. Even so, those of you who do take action, it is statistically proven that between 20 and 50% of you will fail within your first year. And knowing this should make you understand that it's crucial that you pick the correct business model to start as a beginner so that you don't end up quitting within your first year or within your first few months. That's why I'm sharing with you what I believe to be the best online business to start as a beginner. It's very, very important that you understand the 5 criteria that any business model should fall under so that you are able to live your life with the 3 freedoms, which are time, location, and financial freedom. Now, the 5 criteria that any business model must fall under before you consider doing it is startup capital. As a beginner, it's very unlikely that you're going to have any significant amount of money to be able to invest into any sort of business. The next one is profit margin. Any business model that you get into has a profit margin of at least 50%. Anything less than that, I think it's a waste of time, so don't even bother. The next one is demand. This is self-explanatory. If nobody wants the product or service you're offering, then it doesn't make sense to say. Fulfillment, amount of steps and amount of difficulty and friction is going to be between you getting a sale and then you delivering on the service or delivering the product. And the last one is time invest. Ideally, you want to be in a business model where it doesn't require you spending countless hours each day on this business for you to generate any sort of significant capital, because then you'll just become a slave to your own business, and obviously this is what we're not trying to do. So now that you understand the vital criteria that your business model must fall under, it's time for me to actually get into the different business models themselves. So I've comprised a short list for you of the best and most popular viable business models to start. Stocks and day trade. Now, day trading is you basically just buy and sell within the period of a day. How you make money is you just profit off of the minute little increases in the market or company shares in which you're trading in. Startup capital for this is going to be, for you to make any decent amount of money, you're going to have to invest in buying a decent amount of stocks. And if you're a beginner, especially if you're a teenager, you're not going to have a lot of money to buy much of any. Profit margin. Now, this will depend on how much the market fluctuates, but generally, you're not really going to see anything more than between 1 and 5%, which is obviously very, very low. Demand, well, this doesn't really have demand because you're not selling to someone, you're just selling shares that you bought. Time investment is going to be very high because for a good portion of the day you have to be sitting down watching the stock market. You have to know when to sell, buy. You're just staring at a screen for hours. Overall, this just obviously isn't a very valuable option for beginners. The time investment along with the profit margins and the money you have to put in to make a decent return. Now that moves us on to dropshipping. Now I'm sure most of you watching this video have probably heard about dropshipping. Let's say I have a Bluetooth speaker. If I'm in the US and I decide to go to a retail store and I buy this Bluetooth speaker, depending on the speaker, it can probably cost, let's say, $50. If I'm in China and I look for the exact same Bluetooth speaker, I can probably get it for a tenth of the price compared to in the US because I'm buying it. One, a country that manufacturing costs are cheaper, and two, I'm buying it directly from the manufacturer instead of a retailer or a middleman. There would be no added cost for profit for that. This is basically a huge part of the model of dropshipping, where find a selling product where you can outsource shipping from the manufacturer itself at a reduced cost. You will just run ads and you can have a higher profit margin because they're fulfilling the product directly from the manufacturer instead of a retailer, where obviously there will be added costs so that there could be profits made, along with the fact that you wouldn't have to keep any inventory and you only have to fulfill a product once a sale has been made. Let's check all of the criteria in which this meets. The startup cost of this will be very low. All you basically need is just a Shopify website and probably a domain name, logo, whatever. That's it. Not really a huge startup cost. Depending on the product that you sell, you can get a commission between 10 or even 60%, but it's normally not any much higher than that. The demand also varies on the product that you sell, but this is where you get into the hidden cost of dropshipping. This whole model is dependent on you running ads, which obviously cost money. If you're selling a product cheap, if you want to make, let's say, 10,000 US a month doing this model, you're gonna have to You're going to have to do a whole lot of product research, trying and testing different products until you find one, which obviously is going to burn through a lot of money. And once you find this winning product, let's say you want to make 10,000 US a month with this product. We do a little calculation. So let's say you're selling a product for $10, right? For you to make 10,000 US a month, you're going to have to sell upwards of 1,000 products. Anyone who knows anything about running ads can tell you that that is incredibly hard to do, especially as a beginner. Not only that, as we discussed earlier, of that 10,000, your profit margins will range between maybe 10 and probably 60, with more likely 40%, which means at the end of the month of that 10,000, you would only get to keep between 1 and let's say 4,000. Coupling the fact that you have to spend money with advertising and marketing and the product research. I'm not saying that this is an awful strategy, but it's just not the most effective for a beginner who obviously doesn't have a lot of skill in advertising and product research. Now, affiliate marketing, this is basically somewhat like a watered down version of dropshipping, where you get a commission off of any product or service that someone buys directly through your advertising or your link. So anytime you've been watching those YouTube videos and they mention this product or this company and there's a link to it in the description of the video, if you were to click on that link, let's say you buy this $100 product, that creator would get a commission off of your sale or you buying that product. That's a form of affiliate marketing. The startup cost is zero. You're not creating or even shipping any product. You're just getting an affiliate link and getting a commission off of each sale that is made through your affiliate link. Now, fulfillment is done because, like we said, you're not creating or shipping any product. You're just getting a commission. Profit margin is the same as drop shipping, around 10-40%, depending on the price of the product and the agreements of the commission. Time investment, other than creating whatever content saying, hey, I have this affiliate link or this thing I'm sharing with you, you basically don't have to spend any time with this, because once you've made your content or either uploaded your video, if someone is interested, they will just funnel through, and if they buy a product, you get it. So you don't have to check on it, you don't have to worry about shipping or fulfillment. You basically just get the commission if someone decides to buy. And the demand varies on the type of product or service that you're having your affiliate with. This is valuable in terms of a cash flow, but it seems more of a little side hustle, full-blown way to make a full-time income. Now, YouTube, which is what I do. Now, startup cost is pretty much none, because all you need is just a camera, and most of us nowadays, if you're watching this, you more than likely have a smartphone. All you have to worry about is what to create content about. So really, there's effectively no startup capital with this. Profit margin is very fluctuant, depends on what your main source of revenue from YouTube is. Now, the most common way and the most popular way to make money on YouTube is through YouTube AdSense. Now, YouTube AdSense is where if you create a video, right, and you upload a video onto the platform. We've all been through it, there's ads in beginning, maybe the end, or maybe in the middle of the video. If a creator is monetized and has their AdSense turned on, they basically get paid every time a viewer, you, see an ad on their video. This is by far the most popular way content creators make money on YouTube. This is variable depending on the region that you're in and also the niche that your channel resides. So business, finance, and educational normally has higher AdSense revenue, because based on the topics, advertisers are willing to spend more money so that they can be shown on those type of videos. Now, the demand on your content is dependent on the niche, of course, type of content you make, and how big of a creator you are. So this is highly dependent on you as the creator and how you decide to go approach your YouTube journey. Now, the time investment is also variable. It depends on type of content you create and how often you want to post and create content. And if you decide to outsource the work, so like video editing, thumbnail making, and all the managing and comment section and all that, so highly variable. As you can see, this whole business model is just basically dependent on you as a person, which actually is a pro to this. And fulfillment, just upload a video, simple. Now, this next one, I know you all been hearing a lot about. This is basically starting a social media marketing agency or job servicing. Now, the model of a marketing agency is you basically be doing cold outreach to business owners, and you pitch them on the service that you're offering, which is basically to handle their ads. You tell them your proposal, some will agree to a call. So you set up this meeting. Now when you're on this meeting, you will be pitching them on, you will be running their ads for them, and you will be responsible for generating more leads, sales, more closes for them. You outsource actual marketing and advertising to contractors who are far more experienced, that are living in third world countries where labor cost and cost of living is much cheaper. Now business models like these are what are known as high ticket business models, which is basically where each buyer or client that you have would be paying you anywhere from $1,500 to upwards of $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 plus. So basically with just a few clients, you'll be able to quit your job and be making a full-time income remotely from anywhere in the world at any time. So the profit margin on this would be high. You can charge a client, let's say $5,000 per month to run their ads for them, right? And this contractor that you have delivering the ads for you, they could be giving them a 5x return on the money that they're spending. So you're generating 25, 30,000, even more money for them, and you pay that contractor anywhere between $5,000 and $1,000 per month per client. Basically, you would have a profit margin in the hundreds, and I actually recommend you being fully transparent with your contractors, letting them know, hey, this is how much I'm charging and I'm paying you this amount. Because for a lot of these people, they're living in countries such as Colombia, Africa, Vietnam, all these third world countries. Getting $500 or $1,000 is way more than what they would be getting paid domestically if they were to work for some ad agency in their own region or their country. Now the demand is dependent on the niche that you are in. So this is just whether or not you can pick a high ticket niche that you're able to get a high level of clients in. So I recommend not dealing with any single business owners or contractors and working with like larger business owners or enterprises that would be able to afford a higher price. The fulfillment is low to medium because all you have to be doing is checking in with your clients and with your contractors, seeing how everything's going, how everything's running. Because like I said, you wouldn't be the one who is actually creating and delivering on that. You'd be outsourcing that work. And the time investment is low to medium because you can basically be setting 10, 15, 20 meetings per week, and each meeting doesn't really have to be over 40 minutes, maybe an hour. You just go over your pitch, go over how you would be fulfilling the services that you're offering and just closing the sales really. This is also a very highly profitable niche, along with not being too overtly difficult for you to execute with having large profit margin. But I will have to tell you that this does require you learning multiple skills like people management and sales, learning how to speak, conveying your words properly, knowing how to present. It aren't too difficult to learn, but it's not the most simple business model out there. Now that brings me to the last business model that I personally believe to be the best model to start as a beginner, and that model is becoming an online influencer. Now when you go online on social media, you check up on your favorite personalities like Iman Gaji, Hamza Ahmed, Andrew Tate. They make millions of dollars from the fact that millions of you who are their fans buy digital products and courses from them. Let's use Andrew Tate for an example. He sells his online education platform, The Real World, for $50 a month, right? Now, as of recording this video, he has 250,000 people in that course. So do some simple math and you find out that 240,000 times 50, that's around $12 million a month that he's making off of that platform alone. And now the reason why he even has so much people in that platform to begin with was because a few years ago he decided that he was going to blow up his brand, become a major influencer, and within the last year he's been huge. You've seen him anywhere on Google, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all these different platforms. Hundreds of millions of views, and through that he was able to garner a huge loyal fan base around him, through which you could sell his product, The Real World, and be making 12 million a month from that. Same thing with guys like Iman Gaji. He's been blowing up the past year on YouTube, and he's been doing some crazy numbers that we've never seen from anyone in that space before. And through that, he's been able to make millions through his online education platforms. I'm sure there are countless other examples of maybe influencers that you follow that sell some sort of course or some sort of product that gain them tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions a month. And the reason they were able to do that is because they grew a large online following, and through that they were able to get loyal fan base that trusts and believes in what they say and are willing to spend money on the products and services that they're offering. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is some quick strategy that you're going to make millions in a few short months, but if you take the time in to actually grow your brand and scale it, you realize that the money that you can make from selling digital products is money that can set you and your family for life, generations even. So becoming an influencer and selling a digital product is what I believe to be the best online business strategy for beginners, for in the long term to be making tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you learned from this video and gained an insight on what is the smartest approach to be making when it comes down to starting an online business.